getting into the start of round 3 here. Steve on
mulligans,
play,
looks
no
like.
mulls.
Loving
Going to
seeing some magic.
surveil Mind Spiral into the grave, it looks like.
Ben already sweating that his opponent didn't have to mull on their.
It's like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
This has never happened to me before.
In between rounds, I told the trash pandas that they had to beat the Frog Squadron because two of their team I am playing with in the next season. I just can't have victors on my team.
Do you have a 1-drop here, Steve? Double Grotto.
Interesting. Well, if he doesn't have a 2-drop, that is interesting.
No, it has to be a 1-drop.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't have a 2-drop, maybe he doesn't want to play his colored mana and just get the extra surveil.
Oh, okay. That could be it.
Or maybe he's assuming that the double surveil will find him the colored mana that he needs if he has the double hidden grotto. And it looks like he found at least something here. 2-3 for a 2-drop? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I mean, you know.
You do what you got to do.
Smoothing out, smoothing things out for sure, but still not feeling great about playing a 2-drop on turn 3 against the Frogs deck.
No. Would you keep that hand with two hidden grottos? I think so too.
Yeah, just
the double surveil.
More likely to find
a land, right? Exactly. And if you're not, you're the unluckiest Magic player of all time. And you should probably just quit.
Luckily, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think we're thinking about discarding to Bellowing Crier here.
Yeah, he's got to discard, but I don't know what he is. Looked like he was considering a land or maybe a Pond Prophet.
It's not the split
it's a
skin
Curious
doll.
Forager. Interesting. Yeah.
It's not the split skin doll from the new set.
Yeah,
so
if you know the new set.
Discard.
That split skin is very good.
Yeah.
They really pushed some of those red-white cards.
Bless it.
Sneeze coming in. Oh, jeez. Looks like Steve missing his white mana, though. He can always filter for it.
Missing land 4 in general, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Here. Unless it's just going to be a
brawl there.
Brawl.
Longstock brawl, and I would
don't feel great about this.
I would do the no gift, and I would kill the Prophet.
Pond Prophet, right?
Yeah, the Pond Prophet's a high target, but it does look like he's going to gift and kill the 2-1. No, he's going to gift and kill the. So a 3/3 on the block can protect him.
What do you think about that? Giving the gift when you don't have to. How do you feel about that?
I don't hate it, but only because Steve. Oh, interesting. I wouldn't have attacked there. I was going to say, I don't hate it because I like that if Steve is missing his white mana, he needs to hold off that 2-1 a little bit and save his life total. So having a 3/3 on the board against a 2-1, I think is maybe the correct play. But then if he was thinking of attacking there, I think that's a mistake.
It looks like Ben might have tipped his hand a little bit there, reacted a little too quickly.
That Steve kind of forgot that it was a bite, not a fight.
Yeah.
Pond Prophet again.
Gossip's Talon into Pond Prophet, so you get to surveil and then draw one.
Yeah, you could just stack the triggers however you like.
It is going to be draw surveil.
There was some debate over whether it was draw surveil or surveil draw is the better option. I think you're supposed to draw surveil first, right? Which is not what Ben did, but
I think it depends. Early in the game, it's like any card is going to be good, so I'm going to go ahead and draw and set up my next turn. I have no idea how correct that is, though.
What do you think? Surveil draw or draw surveil?
This is Commissioner Alex, who's joining us in the booth here.
My general heuristic on stacking, scry or surveil and then draw is to draw first and then have more information for the surveil and scry. But I definitely think there are situations where you need to increase your chances of drawing what you need right now.
Yeah.
So
surveil and then draw.
So putting the draw second. Yes, as this may be the only situation you'll ever hear that in Magic the Gathering, but I think the right answer is it depends.
Yeah.
That's a little dry humor for you, straight from the commish. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Everything else in this game is pretty cut and dry.
A classic Elven answer. Yes and no.
How we doing? Where are we at in the
round 3?
Pandas are up 4-2 in round 3 here. So.
All right, so Frogs are hoping for the sweep.
Yeah, and we've got an
unblockable Bellowing
Crier coming in. Whoa, Ben just firing off some power here. Cards we have not seen from him.
Tapping for mana
Is he
in response to the bounce trigger, it looks like.
Got it.
to get the mana, but then he realized he couldn't do it because
Yeah.
the fish is not a frog, and it's only frogs. So
Yeah.
Clement gives that too.
Oops.
I'm gonna pee and wander, but
Yeah.
want you guys.
Yeah.
Still,
Come back, kick me out, and talk to him. Who knows?
still just an excellent turn there from Ben.
yeah.
Though. Clement
And
is
and
Clement is a
absolutely
powerful card,
Excellent turn.
and Steve is continuing to miss land drops and
It's really
lanes
rough.
drops.
Yeah. It's not looking
So,
good for Steve on the
not
sort of
even-
like tempo here.
Not even threatening Warren Elder activation here,
No.
which is pretty important.
Though he may have something else.
Yeah, I would.
He does have some other cheap
Um,
tricks that we cannot see in his
So,
hand.
yeah, Jolly Gerbil's out. That makes Crumb and Get It much more appealing
Mhm.
for sure. Looks like Ben is just going to take 5 there.
And especially with the Gossip's talent creating unblockable creatures left and right, that swing I think is you don't feel great about
Yeah,
it, but you still do it.
You've pretty much lost your advantage over the late game value deck at this point.
Is
So
that a Plume Creed escort in Steve's hand? Could potentially
yeah,
be nice.
that would be uncastable on this board state. So it looks like it's going to be coming in for 6 here.
Plume Creed escort is uncastable. The 2-1.
Oh,
with
sorry,
hexproof?
the 2-1 flash. Okay.
I thought that would be playable,
Yeah.
but depends on what he gives.
I
Oh
think-
boy, this is not looking so good for Steve here.
I think you're probably going to not want to be blocking with the escort anyway. So
no, but
it might
just
still
the,
get flashed
just
in.
the tempo,
Yeah, it might still get flashed in
Yeah,
here.
that's
at
what I'm
the end.
saying. It's tough here, and then he's going to be able to bounce something. I don't know if he will.
He can
though.
bounce a Bellowing Crier if he wants to.
So it's interesting.
gonna
I would
play
have
the-
potentially played the Pawn Prophet first, and then bounced it when you play the.
But yeah, this is
Yeah,
just
this-
this is just how to control though. Like
Exactly. At this point, Ben's saying, "I don't really need to worry about
yeah,
this."
I don't think.
I don't think the most optimal version of this play is maybe
You know.
what I'm doing here. I'm just demoralizing Steve.
Yeah, Steve's only like way to break up the board is like Parting Gust or force a block and then use a Crumb and Get It or something.
It looks like still no land there for
Yeah.
Steve. At this point, I mean, oof.
Ooh, a banner is pumping almost.
That's
Actually,
going to be game, I think.
There is a little bit of a mix of creature types here,
Yeah.
though.
Some
What
rabbits.
do you choose here? Maybe rabbits?
I would say frogs, just because
Still
most of
frogs,
his
okay.
deck is the tiebreaker on the current board state: 3 rabbits, 3 frogs.
You named frogs.
Players discussing the same thing, just because the rest of his deck, I think, is going to get
Yeah,
more
it's-
value. If
it's
Steve
better in
does
general,
manage to
for
come
sure.
out of this, it's going to be because he's going to want that to have had frogs named.
Ooh. So he gets to blink the head of the homestead, get 2 more rabbits and 2 more surveil triggers off of the Gossip's
and he can
talent.
bounce his Pawn Prophet again. Frog's doing the frog thing where it feels like they have infinite resources.
Yeah,
it
the
does look like
value
he's
is-
deciding or maybe missed the trigger on that Clement to let him bounce the Pawn Prophet again.
It's just probably not going to
Yeah.
matter at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Though I do think that that's a trigger that is missed quite often in paper,
Yeah.
is that whenever something with greater mana value enters, you can bounce something with lesser mana value.
Clement definitely adds a lot to the mental stack between like, oh, I can only tap some of my creatures for mana, and also I can only bounce smaller things to my hand.
And he's got vigilance, so you have to bear in mind that he can attack and tap then, and I can only tap for some things. And he's an interesting card, but he's definitely, yes, absolutely mentally taxing.
So tapping double blue at sorcery speed? Oh no, it's just tapping 4 here.
What I'm most worried
For
about
Red Shell
here is that for Steve, even something like his Season of Weaving is not, he doesn't have the mana to cast it, but even if he could, like, Ben has too many tokens on the board. He's going to be making 2 rabbits every turn.
It's like Ben is seeing if he has the city's blessing here,
I mean, yeah.
counting as permanence.
That one Ascend card in the side in the list now. He's going to try and long stock brawl here. Gifting
a fish.
Gifting a tapped fish. That'll probably end up being lethal then if he's counting it out so he'll only have, see, the gerbils blocks the Clement, the escort blocks the guy, run away together. That's going to be lethal.
Steve's going to say, I've seen enough. All right. Going into game 2 here. Let's see if Ben can just slam the door.
Every set has one uncommon that I'm so excited about, and the Moose was that card for this set.
Yeah, you were not the only one.
Yeah, this is a very fun card. Well, you've seen this Shotsucker opening before, and it's proved good for Steve.
Into Plimcreed Mentor would be the ideal here. Let's see if he's got it. I know
Looks like he's got both colors of lands. Yeah. Hopefully he has that third land. Yeah, 2 Plimcreed Mentors is very nice if he could resolve one here. It does look like he's going to resolve that and get the Surveil leave on top.
Okay. So Castrol or something?
Yeah,
maybe?
Something big. I can see a Mind Spiral in hand.
Castrol or Season of Bluing, whatever it's
I can
called.
also see, so if he has the fight spell here, do you think he fires it off against the Pawn Prophet to prevent them? And it looks like he's going to Longstock Brawl. Yeah. I support this
totally respect
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's interesting on the Gift of the Fish. I would not do that.
I'm not sure
I wouldn't. I wouldn't
necessary.
have done that.
Though I guess like making sure that your Thoughtchucker remains a relevant body later in the match.
Sure. And if he has enough
consideration,
if he has enough removal, I mean, if he has enough creatures, increasing the threat potential of that Thoughtshucker is nice, right? Like making Ben feel like he maybe has to use a removal spell on the Thoughtshucker to prevent stuff. Though I haven't noticed that Thoughtshucker it's unlikely to get the card draw, I think, in Steve's deck.
Not unless the game is going super long.
He doesn't
which
have
is
any ways
not
to accelerate
something that he necessarily wants to. Ooh.
No. Oh, the sword. Ooh. He's going to
pulling
be,
the fish out of the fish.
I think regretting giving Ben that fish with the sword on the battlefield. That can very quickly and very easily be a 4/4.
Yeah, that turns that fish into a real threat. Oh, and it is correct. It
5?
is Castrol.
Nope.
Oh no, it's
Mind Spiral. Okay. Probably gifting another fish. He loves those fish. He's a gifter. All tapped out. Oh no, one fish up to block.
Yeah. Maybe just trading fish here.
I would probably swing with everything, yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve is happy to trade fish here.
Fish for fish.
Considering the sword.
I don't think Ben's going to want to do that either.
7 damage down to 11.
Oh, trade fish.
Oh, no, he's trading
He is going to trade fish, so he'll take 6, 12. And this is game 2 for these individuals, right? Yeah. My short-term memory is completely shot from playing Magic. I have no idea what's going on.
And Mind Spiral in return.
Mind Spiraling also. The Mind Spiral into Mind Spiral.
These fish are being re-gifted at this point, I think. They're just like, I don't want this fish. Give it. You take it back.
Yeah, I've seen more fish in this match than I have.
You can't re-gift to the same person who gave you the thing.
Yeah, lots of re-gifting. Yeah, it's good. Fish, fish, fish. The loaves and the fishes over here. Someone just needs a gift of food. Yeah, yeah.
Can we gift 7 fish in one game? Achievement unlocked?
Yeah. I wish that the fish were 1/1 foods, because I think that they are food for a lot of the creatures in the Bloomborough world.
Yeah.
So I wish that they had...
All right, so here's this Plimcreed Mentor.
Very nice. Good on this board,
Swinging
especially because that sword is going to create some pressure there, but some pressure that cannot fly, right? Notably, the sword removes flying. Ben at 9, happy to take that 3, not block with the fish.
Has certainly not had the perfect frog start that he had in the previous game.
No.
And so likely, but did just draw 3 and a 4th for turn off of the Mind Spiral. So
I see some good stuff in his hand.
Is that a Sky Skipper duo, maybe?
Skyskips may be good, but he doesn't have no value to get with it, though. A 3/3 in the air would be pretty nice here. It wouldn't hold back the Thought Checker or the Light Shell duo. And
Watch your mouth. Okay, stop. I don't want to.
What did you call me? Thought Checker?
Shh, I don't want to hear that language on the stream anymore.
All right, that 3/3 with reach, very
does
nice
just as
on
good a
this
job.
board. Yeah, very nice here. Ooh, that is going to get denialed. A dazzling denial.
Oh, and then a Misbreath Elder to follow up.
Misbreath.
Wow.
And
yeah, that was quite a turn, even through the counterspell.
Yeah,
there.
the triple spell was very nice. Do you think that he suspected a counterspell and sandbagged the Misbreath? I don't think so.
It's hard to get the Misbreath with dazzling denial either way, so probably not.
But does he have a bird? No, he does. He does. Plume Creed. Yeah, he would have gotten it with it. I like that counterspell. There's been a few formats in a row that I've liked counterspells, and I usually hate them. So, that Warren.
This is actually
Warren Elder is a very nice draw here. With
the mana to activate.
Get the activation,
ready.
So he can swing definitely probably with the Plume Creed, but he's also debating whether or not he should swing with his.
It's got to be everything. Oh, well, okay, hang on. The Barkform Harvester is a 5/6 reach. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it has. I always forget that Harvester has reach.
Yeah.
Secret reach. I don't. Without the bow and arrow that they have on Arena, I don't know if things have reach anymore.
Okay, so just the duo is coming in here.
So
5 mana available.
If he does have, say, Crumb and Get It in his hand, and
that would do it.
Ben makes some pretty bad blocks.
Just
here.
jumping.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
Makes sense.
Leaving up white.
Better on Guard Mouse.
Ooh, Guard Mouse also very good with the potential Crumb and Get It, which whether he's bluffing or not, he has left up the white.
And the Plume Creed Mentor as well.
Trigger, draw.
We're returning
the Bellowing Crier
on upkeep. Looks like they had missed that, or Ben had moved through upkeep too quickly there. Drawing off Pawn Profit.
Looks like Roman just said, "Bring it home, Vincent." So it looks like maybe V is not doing so well in their match. Crumb and Get It is good.
Was there finally a food gifted there?
I don't think so. I think they just went for the extra power because of the fight. It's looking pretty good for Frog Squadron. Did Vincent get it? Oh,
all right.
Looks like that is the match.
That's going to be match with Vincent taking it over V to close out, officially closing out Bloomburrow season. We have your Team Draft LA Bloomburrow season championships. The Trash Pandas.
The Trash Pandas. Congratulations, the Trash Pandas. A stunning victory. Yeah.
5-2 over the Frog Squadron.
Into playoffs with a tough record, and they really pulled it out.
Taking the semifinals
really
win
matches,
over
the undefeated team.
Over the undefeated Frankincense.
And then pulling it out.
Congrats.
Wow. Thank you.
Congrats.
It should be Vincent here because Vincent won our match, and I lost mine.
You're the captain though.
Yeah, I know.
So you can talk about the season as a whole.
Sure.
You were just saying the commissioner was just saying you started out the season 0-2 against which teams?
So we played them first round.
Okay, that's right.
Like 5-3, I think.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Frankincense. So those were the two teams that we beat in the top 4.
Wow, dang.
So I think
true revenge
I
there,
think at the beginning of the season, our team as a whole, but even me, I was trying to find like my footing in this set because traditionally in team draft, like my go-to, traditionally in team draft, like my go-to strategy is just draft like removal and like good cards.
And a big butter too.
Right, big butter. And I heard that like blue was bad, so like I did not touch any blue in my first draft, and I was like Naya. Then Ben was also Naya, and Vincent was like a red-green stuff. So we were all these like mediocre red-green.
All
decks.
cutting each other off.
Pretty much, yeah, Naya decks against their decks, which was like bats, like blue-green, and red-black wizards. Mm-hmm. So we got crushed, and then against Frankincense, I think I also like didn't draft like the right deck at the table, and We lost 5-4 in the last game of that one, so very, very close.
Yeah.
And then I think later on, I kind of had my footing in the set. Well, Vincent was, I think, understood it pretty early on. Same with Ben. Like they knew that like you kind of have to be in like the 2-color archetype on like whatever that creature is for that 2 colors, like lizards, rats, whatever. You just kind of have to like pick one early and stick with it, depending on like what's open, and not go on like the traditional team draft plan of like I draft like removal spells,
Just
and,
pile of cards.
Right, and I think like it's a lot different in sets like upcoming like Duskmourn, where there's so many grindy cards in Delirium.
Yeah.
The set's way different, and games end so much quicker that you kind of have to be in that 2-color, very dedicated plan. So like the drafts that I've done the best at, which were the last 2 in the top 4, I 3-0'd with Red Black Lizards against Frankensuns, where I got past like a Valley Flame Caller, like mid pack 1, and then I got 2 of the Fireglass Mentors, the Red Black guy.
So good.
Yeah. And then I luckily opened a Higher Claw in pack 3, but I went like really deep into like the Lizards plan early on.
Pretty good,
and,
yeah.
And picked up like cards like Scales of Shale very high.
Yeah.
Same in this draft, I took like the 2 Moonrise clerics in pack 1, the 2/1 flyer.
Yeah.
When you gain
When you gain into dings, yeah.
And I went like very deep on the Bats plan, and I went 2-1 in this draft. Our match ended against Glenn, but he was gonna crush me.
Okay.
So I think overall what we learned for this season is that going in, like, just kind of have to like stick to your 2-color plan, know what's open. I mean, obviously you hate where you can, but you can't think about it too much. You have to like go straight on the 2-color archetype.
Yeah, we my team had sort of come to the same conclusion, and also that it's because you were supposed to sort of find a lane and stick to it that trying to hate draft wasn't paying off as much.
Exactly.
Because you cannot guarantee, like you're like, oh, I've passed these good cards, they've got to be in this archetype. No, they have some other good cards that they're staying in that lane instead. So
I think there are definitely times
Discipline.
where like, you see like a 2-color rare, and you're like, I just want to be safe. They don't get this. Like, I hate picked a Lily Splash Mentor in this draft, which I think was right because Steve ended up being in ban. He was kind of blue-white.
he could have played it, sure.
And he could have had that card with Gloomcreed Mentor, which would have been pretty disastrous,
Quite good.
I think, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's like that's definitely one of the better ones. But I agree, it's much harder. I think hate drafting and trying to build like these like 3-4 color decks that I traditionally like in team draft did not pan out. I think Duskmourn is a totally different situation.
Yeah, I think we're kind of back to normal.
Yeah, we'll have dual lands. We have Delirium. There's obviously like good aggressive green-white and like red-white decks in that format, but it's still like a very bulky mid-range format.
Here, Vincent, can you hold it up? Hold it up for the camera, Vincent. Yeah, we can see Vincent in the back there holding the trophy. Yeah,
figuring it out.
we'll get a picture of the whole team in a second, but continue with what you were.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, overall, this is not my favorite set that I've ever drafted or team drafted. But again, like the matches where I felt I did the best, I was rewarded for going in that 2-color combination. And I think the drafts that we ended up, the matches that we ended up losing the most were 2 very streamlined 2-color decks that maybe we should have been in, or we could have picked a little better against or something. Like in this draft, like V's deck was red-green, with like the Lumra and the
Green shell.
Yeah, but like the games that weren't even coming down to those cards, V could still win by playing triple of the Signpost red green on
The Wandertail, yeah.
And I mean, I hate picked a teapot slinger in this draft, which is a card that we lost to very hard in one of our matches.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we should have they had 2 Gloomtree Mentors and 3 of the red green guy. Like, I wonder if we should have picked one of those at some point in this draft. I don't know if it would have made a huge difference, but so it goes.
Yeah. Anyway, fantastic work making the turnaround in the regular season and then just crushing the postseason, of course. Yeah.
I'm very glad that we were able to bounce back from that 0-2 start.
Can I assume you're running it back as
yes,
is?
We are running it back as is for Duskmourn, team name TBD. We're thinking Geistbusters. We've also thought about the fear of going 0-5.
Nice.
But we don't want to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yes, we are running it back, and it'll be.
And that's going to be starting up pretty soon here, actually.
Like a week or something.
Thanks to how Watsy's packing them in these days.
Right.
But Yeah, I think that's a good thing in this case because Duskmorn seems like an awesome format, and I'm excited to get some team drafts in, as usual. Congrats again to the Pandas. Thanks for joining me. Thank you so much to Game Realms once again for hosting us. Yeah, and I think that's going to do it for Bloomburrow season. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you in Duskmorn. Peace.